to my channel. My name is Janine, also known as Stella, and today I have my girl Alexis, bartender extraordinaire, here to answer the nitty-gritty of what it is and what you do when you are a bartender slash server. She has been in the industry for how long?
I've been in the industry about 6 years now.
All right, so hopefully this goes well. I'm really excited, and yeah, let's get right into it.
All right.
So, what is the grossest thing that you have seen in a restaurant?
It's so funny because I still can't believe that it happened. Literally, somebody came in. It was my first job. It was like a dive bar, like a little like hole in the wall place. Somebody comes in, they sit in a booth with a group of people. They were not by themselves. It was midday, so like how drunk could you really be, you know?
Yeah. And
they pooped in the booth and then left. They ordered waters. By the time I came back with the waters, all I found was the poop, like, and they were with a group of people, so like
they literally
your friends just let you poop in this booth and then like leave. Like,
was there no bathroom? Yes,
the bathroom was like a couple feet away. You could have just pooped in the toilet like normal people.
That is disgusting. And who the fuck to clean that?
Not me. I was like, not I. That is above my pay grade, honey. I don't. Manager.
That's so gross. People are so nasty.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about the creepiest customer that you've had.
The creepiest customer that I've had is still a customer of mine. I was literally gonna say his name, but I probably shouldn't do that because I want him to keep coming. I kind of allow him to be creepy because he tips me so well. Like, he's one of those people that like holds your hand for too long, so he'll be like, and then like you try to leave and it's like he doesn't let go of your hand.
He pulls you in.
Yeah, and he like, I think he thinks he's psychic, so he's always like, oh, you're so beautiful, you deserve so many good things, whatever you're going through right now. And he's like extra super like creepily flirty, but he never crosses a line, and he always tips me like $100. So like he'll come and get like a couple of Miller Lights and tip $100, and then he'll leave and come back, get another couple of Miller Lights, tip $100. Like, you can be creepy, honey.
Okay, so if you guys had a creepy ass customer like that holding you real close, but they left you $100 every time they came, which could be multiple times in a night, would you allow them to be creepy?
Yes, you would.
Yeah, you would. You would, because that's one person.
Yeah.
Shit, $100 just to give them a couple beers.
Yeah.
Hold my hand, baby. You can hold my hand. So a lot of people have questions versus the real pay that a bartender or server makes versus the tipping, and how that all combines and how you make a good living.
Right.
Well, because she makes a good living, guys.
Yeah.
She's got it all the way together.
In Florida, the federal minimum wage for tipped employees is like $5 and something cents. Which obviously doesn't sound like a lot, but it's even less because they tax your tips that you claim. So usually when I get my paycheck bi-weekly, I make like $60.
Which is why you guys should always tip your people. However,
yeah, sometimes it's even $0 for 2 weeks. Like that's insane. But we do, you know, make our tips. So when people are like, oh, well, you know, you make hourly, like I don't have to tip and it's based off. No, I literally, like, I live off of my tips. So, I mean, and tips vary depending on where you work. Like, some people can make like 60 to 80 bucks a shift, you know, some people make like 100 bucks a shift, some people make 200, 300, 400 in a shift. Like, it varies. I usually make anywhere from like 150 to 200 a shift regularly, and I work about 4 or 5 shifts a week. So, I mean, but sometimes I leave with like 350, like it's nuts. You just don't know. It just varies.
Would you say that being a bartender is easier or harder than being a server?
It just kind of depends. It's different because as a server, you only have your section. You only have to worry about your like 4 or 5 tables and doing your side work. As a bartender, kind of like the whole bar is yours, and you have a lot more people to take care of and a lot more ground to cover. And a lot of times, like, you're not just bartending your people, you're making all of the drinks for the whole restaurant. You are answering the phones, you are running food. Yeah, like you're not just doing one thing. So, but you can make exponentially more money bartending because you do have that much more ground to cover. So serving is easier, but obviously you don't make as much money.
So the goal is bartend.
Yes.
Okay, got it, got it. What is the best way to get a bartender's attention? I've heard so many times if you wave money in their face, or if you snap at them, or if you're like hello, that they'll ignore you. Okay, yeah.
First of all, if you whistle at me, if you snap your fingers at me, if you like tap on the table, or like, no, I'm not, no, or like, hello, like doing all of this, like, I'm gonna specifically ignore you because that's rude as fuck. Anyways, that's just, it's rude. It's like, I'm not a dog. I have a name. I'm usually always wearing my name tag.
Call them by their name.
And especially if I've already introduced myself to you and you know my name and you're like,
hey girl.
no,
hey girl.
just no. That's so rude. And I'm very like, if I see that your drink is empty, I'll refill it before you even ask me.
Yeah.
You know, I call it circling. I just walk around the bar in a circle, and if you miss the bus, you gotta wait for it to come back around, kind of thing.
That's a good technique.
Yeah,
that way you always get everybody.
Yeah, a lot of my regulars know the drill, so like, I see you and I'm coming, but.
So the best way is call them by their name.
Yes, call by the name or say excuse me. Like,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what is the rudest thing somebody has done to you?
The rudest thing someone has done to me is threw something at me. Yes, somebody actually threw something at me.
What?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like they threw like a rock at me or anything,
so
but they threw a hat. So it's actually, I had seen him a couple times. He was always rude when he came in, and it was like an FIU.
He was regular.
Yeah. It was like an FIU UM game.
College football guy.
Yeah,
big deal.
And I saw him coming in, you know, I nodded at him, you know, acknowledgement that I see you. So I turned to the computer and I'm putting in their order. And he's like already arguing with the girls next to him, like, oh, you know, FIU is not gonna win. But like being really like rude, and like it wasn't funny banter, it was just like obnoxious. Yeah. So then I'm almost done putting in their order and I feel like a thud on my back. And I was like, and then his hat that was on his head, I saw it, just lands right next to me.
Girl.
And I was
Did
like,
you jump over that bar?
First of all, the first thing, I got like so hot so fast. I was like, okay, wait, woosah before you turn around and kill him.
Because side note, she has it all the way together, but she's an ex-corrections officer, so she will run her shit and put you all the way together like a snap. So do not mess with my girl because she will F you up.
That's right.
But she's at work, so I wonder what happened.
Yeah, so I tried to be like professional and keep it together, but really I wanted to jump over the bar. So I turned around and I gave him like the nastiest look that I could muster.
Give me a look.
I was like, like you done lost your mind.
Like, dude, you're about to get kicked out of here.
Right, and then I turned the other way and I looked at the girls and they looked at me like, yeah, he just did that. That was on purpose.
Ooh, no.
Right, so I turned back to the computer, I finished putting in their order, and I proceeded to ignore him for the next like 15 minutes. Straight ignore him.
Well deserved.
I told all the other servers and bartenders that I'm not serving him and they are not to serve him, that he threw something at me. Then I finally went over there and he tried to order from me and I was like, excuse me, sir. I do not serve customers who assault me, and assault is throwing inanimate objects at somebody, and you just threw something at me. And I refuse to serve you. And technically I could call 911 right now and press charges, but I'm not gonna do that. So you can leave if you'd like because you're not gonna get served.
Ooh, so professional.
Yeah, and he literally still sat there for like 15 minutes like dumbfounded, like, oh, you're really not gonna serve me? No, I'm really not. You really threw a hat at me. What is wrong with you? So then he had the balls to come back like 4 or 5 hours later with some lady, and so we ignored them for a while, and it was the same people, so I told everybody, you know, don't serve that guy. That's the guy that threw something at me. He's wearing the same hat, the same whole outfit, like. And then so his lady friend tried to order something from me, and I was like, ma'am, no offense, I will serve you whatever you would like, but this gentleman here assaulted me earlier by throwing an inanimate object at me, and he is not welcome here, and no one is gonna serve him, but I'd be more than happy to serve you, you know?
Okay, if I was that girl, I'd be like...
That was literally like the face that she made. She looked at him, she looked at me, she looked back at him, and he's like hiding behind her, like,
what a little bit.
Like, I can't see you, like you're right there, you know? And yeah, and then she just got up and left, and then he followed her out. Like, I would be so embarrassed if I was him.
I would be mortified.
How do you have the balls to come back?
With a girl.
With a lady friend, like, you're just dumb.
And I'm glad you called them out on that, because people like that, they need to be corrected and nipped in the bud immediately. Exactly. This girl is happily taken, but I wonder, how do you put off, because you're a bartender, so I'm sure you get hit on all the time.
Yeah.
How do you handle those people?
Really, I've just gotten to the point of ignoring them, because no answer that you give is like an adequate no.
So persistence is key on that end.
Yeah, because a lot of people, so they'll try to hit on you or whatever, and you'll be like, oh, well, I have a boyfriend. I'm gonna be like, oh, he doesn't need to know, and I can change it. I can be your new boyfriend. So like,
guys, when you say that, we literally do this.
No, like the answer is no.
No.
I started trying to do like the whole lesbian thing, like, oh, I'm, you know, I don't date guys.
She dates girls. Just kidding.
And they don't turn you straight or whatever. And
who says that?
And you could even just literally be like, sorry, I'm not interested, you know, or I don't date customers, and we'll be like, oh, well, you know, like, try, like, just this. I feel like when you say no, like, they try harder. no doesn't mean try harder, it just means no.
No.
So like, I just straight ignore you. Like if you're not ordering something and you're not having casual conversation with me and I've already told you I'm not interested, I'll just ignore.
The rule is don't date customers.
Yes, the number one rule. Do not date customers. Don't get your honey where you get your money.
Even though you kind of did.
Yeah. But we work together, which is like a rule of mine. I don't date people that I work with either. But that, I don't know. I felt like I put him off so long because of that. And
but that persistence worked.
Anyway,
we'll continue. So, I mean, I'm sure you know a lot of guy bartenders. Do they get hit on as much as girls?
Well, actually, my boyfriend is a bartender.
He
gets hit on like all the time, and it's like usually like cougar ladies. Yeah, there's like this one lady
they're not shy.
Yeah, there's this one lady that comes in all the time, and she's like, "So when are you gonna let me take you home?" And like, you know, and like they'll slide him his number, their number, or like they'll like try to buy him like a drink, and he's just like, "No, lady, like leave me alone."
Oh my god, and that you work there too, so you peep it.
Right, and they try to like grab his arms all the time, like he doesn't want to be touched. Like that's like grabbing my ass. Like you just, it's not okay. Like
guys,
I don't want to move on.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody else that does, but the person that says no is no. Okay, so what is the most that you have been tipped?
The most I have
like in one night and then by one person?
I would say on a Monday morning I made upwards of 500. It was like something.
Christmas.
It was probably like 540 something, like 550.
Dang girl.
They all like the guy tipped and then like all of the other people tipped too.
Oh nice.
So like, and I had like to-goes and the whole bar was full and it was like mayhem and I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But honey, when you count those tips at the end of the day, you're like, it was worth it.
Yeah.
That you just clean so much happier. Like, oh, let me just clean up all this mess. I made so much money. From like one person, that creepy guy, yes.
The creeper.
Yeah, one time he just left me like $300 and I literally just asked him, I was like, did you write that right? He literally had like 2 Miller Lights. His tab was like $8.
Oh my gosh.
And he left me $300 and I was like, are you sure? Cause like, I'm not gonna take advantage of somebody, but I'm only gonna ask you once if you're sure.
I'm not gonna question it twice.
And he was like, yeah, you deserve it. You deserve love. And I was like, okay,
give me all the love.
Here's my hand. Hold it. Like I'm making it sound like, you know, that's the good, but like a lot of times like on $100, $200 tab, they'll tip you 0 or like $5.
So have you ever had to cut somebody off?
All the time. People do not know their limits. I just very nicely do it. Usually if it's time to cut you off, like you're not like coherent enough to like fight me on it, unless like you're an asshole. Like a lot of times when they ask me for another one and I feel like they've had enough, I'll give them a water. And then, you know,
like,
they usually just,
thank you for that,
usually just drink it and then ask me again for their drink. And then I'll ignore them for a while. And then if I feel like maybe they've sobered up a little bit, then I'll give them another one. But, so I just kind of like serve it at my own discretion, I guess. And then when I feel like, okay, I'm not serving that person anymore, they're like way past the line. I'll just tell them, you know, hey, I always tell management first, always tell my fellow bartenders, because they'll go to another bartender or they'll go, if I'm on the inside bar, to the patio bar, you know, so you got to let everybody know that this person's cut off so nobody else serves them. You got to let management know just in case something happens. And then I just let you know, like, hey, I feel like you've had a little too much, you know, here's your tab, I'm not going to serve you anymore. Maybe if you eat something or you have some water, a little time passes, I'll serve you again. But like for now, like you're done.
No more.
Sometimes people do become like belligerent when you're like, oh, you're cut off. Well, I pay for my stuff and I want another beer and you're just gonna cut me off. Like, no. Like, and that's when I'm like, security.
Above my pay grade.
Above my pay, manager.
Where you at?
Yeah.
What's the naughtiest thing that you've seen at a bar? Like inappropriate, like you guys need to get a room type of thing. Like
the naughtiest thing, I've seen many naughty things.
Okay. Like top.
As sneaky as you think you're being, you're not.
Like bathroom stuff?
Yeah, like sometimes like guys will like touch their girls like under the table or like under the bar, like everybody can see you. Like, and your girl's nah. Like, yeah. Or like girls will like touch on like their mans. And people like make out like heavy, like nasty, like all over each other at the bar. But I would say by far like the craziest thing I've heard, because I didn't really like see it, maybe just like feet, was in the bathroom. It was a regular that actually got banned after because it was her second time doing it.
Oh, dang, girl.
Yes. And so she took like some lady in there, and it was like, it was 2 ladies. Yes. And it was the second time she did it with a different person.
Okay.
And she was in there, and like all you just hear is like moaning, and I don't know what was actually going on in there, but a lot of like movement and toilet. And
that just gives me like
the
goosebumps, because that's just so disgusting.
Just like so much, like it's obvious you're not being like sneaky. I hear you. Like, I can see your little feet. She got banned for a while, but she's a super regular. She works like next door. So she would like have people buy her a beer on the patio, and she would like drink it outside like a sad puppy. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I still served her. I'd be like, here's your beer, but you gotta drink it out there. I didn't give you that, you know? But they lifted the ban on her because she behaved so well, so now she's allowed back. Oh gosh. She just knows not to have sex in the bathroom anymore.
What's the longest shift that you've worked, and how do your feet and legs feel? Like, what would you say to other people that are like trying to get into this field, like as far as physical? Yeah, I say it seems like it's an easy job. You're just like serving people, but it's really physically demanding. I used to do a lot of doubles. And sometimes I literally just did a double like 2 days ago. I got conned into staying because one of the night girls called out and they couldn't do it without me, and I was the last resort. So I had opened, so I got there at 10. My shift usually ends at 5. And then, but that's the time night shift starts. And then we close at 2 in the morning. By the time you clean and stuff, it's like 3 in the morning. Yeah. So 10 to 3, how many times you don't get a break, because if it's busy, like you can't take a break. You would have to close out all your people, do your drawer, do your cash. Like, so and then you're missing out on money if you do all of that. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna shove this chicken wing in my mouth really quick when I get the chance. So lunch breaks don't exist. Breaks in the biz do not exist. Unless it's like really dead and you can sit down and eat. But a lot of the times, like, that's your only, like, you have to give yourself a break. Like, just whenever you have the chance to eat something. 18 hours is, and no break, that's like, wow. Yeah, so, or dead food is always great. Like, what is dead food? Dead food? Okay, so this is an in the biz thing. Anybody in the biz knows what dead food is. It's like, if a customer orders something and it comes out wrong, or it was rang in wrong, so, like, you can't sell it. Yeah. But if it's, like, something, like, complicated, or like or something that like people don't order often, or like, you know, we don't see anything on the screen that's similar, it's dead. You can't sell it. It's not being sold. It's just going to get thrown away. So what do? We eat it. Okay, free food. I'm all for it. It's like the vultures like attack all the servers and bartenders are like, is that dead? Is that dead? Eating it all. If I was a customer and I was to hear them say, is that dead? I'd low-key not want to eat there. Yeah, so I'd be like, is that dead means like, it's untouchable. Yeah, got it. But your feet are killing you. You don't feel it until you sit down and get back up. All that all the swelling. Yeah, and then like your feet sweat and like your ankles ache and your calves are on fire, and then you gotta wake up and do it again tomorrow. That's pretty legit. Yeah. At the end here, so as a bartender, like I said, extraordinaire, because she's amazing, guys. What tips or tricks, what do you think people should know that want to get into this business? I think that people that want to get into the biz should know what they're getting into. It's not rainbows and unicorns. You know, it is fun. You get paid to get people drunk and full, but you do take, you know, the good with the bad. There's going to be bad customers. There's going to be people with attitudes. There's going to be, you know, really funny people and people that you make connections with, and good networking opportunities for you as well. So you just have to know that you have to take the good with the bad. Some people are not going to tip and some people are going to tip really well. So you just have to be professional. You have to be able to keep your personal life and your work life separate, because a lot of times you have a bad shift and you bring it home. Yeah. And your significant other, they don't deserve that. Yeah, they don't deserve that. So you just have to keep it separate, stay professional, don't get your honey where you get your money. Unlike what I did. Just whatever. Don't date customers, be professional, and even if somebody's like really rude to you, I just kill people with kindness, and then they feel like really stupid about themselves. Yeah. Yeah. And if you are not in the biz, like for people on the other side of the bar, just know that you know, be respectful to people, be nice, and you get back what you give. And tip correctly, you know, 15% is average. If they do better than that, 25%. If they do bad, then, you know, 10%. Oh, I think everybody that watched this video, remember to give us a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thanks. Alright, we have to like do like a quick little, because we'll do screen grabs.
Okay, what are screen grabs?
Like I'll take a picture from the vid.
Oh, is that a thing? Oh, okay, cool. So what are we doing?